What's going on, guys? Spartan Millie here, and welcome to episode 10 of season 2 in our Motorsport Manager Rebuilding Ferrari F1 2020 mod series. Okay, so welcome back. Today we have Paul Ricard, or the French Grand Prix. My game has been running a bit dodgy today, so keep that in mind, but 10 days to the gearbox is done, so it won't be done in time for Paul Ricard, but that's fine. It doesn't really use the gearbox as well. The reason why I say my game's been dodgy, by the way, is because it crashed before halfway through the sequence, so hopefully we get through it this time. If you're seeing it now, then we did. Bit of a different event than what we had last time, but here we go. Our team has been approached by a world-renowned toy company who wants to create a toy figure of Daniel Ricciardo. That would be mint. I'd buy that, by the way. The drivers agreed to the idea, and all we need is your approval. A win for all. I don't see what's wrong with that. If we get £250,000 and morale boost for everyone, that's a win-win. That's literally a no-brainer. Alright, well that was easy. I'm buying that figure. Hopefully I get one. That should have been an option. Yes, but send me one, please. Anyway, moving on. Improving parts. Car repairs are done. It's on to improving. We should probably do the engine. Yeah, we're around Paul Ricard. It's really heavy on the engine, so we'll work on Daniel Ricciardo's engine. Hopefully we can take it back to the top of the grid. And now we've got a political vote. A very action-packed sort of time here. And points for the top 20 teams is quite. Oh, wait, points are awarded. Okay, so yeah, top 20. So every single driver gets a point, which is not that good because it means that the top teams don't get as much of an advantage over the bottom teams. We're going to vote against with one vote and see what happens. So basically, the point split would be like 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. You get the point. So last place even gets a point. Looks like this could actually go through. It's actually gone through. So next season, there will be points for the top 20. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, it's something different. So this series might not even go into next season. Depends if we win the title this season. But it's something to keep in mind. You know, it's something different. Why not? Mix it up a little bit. So if we go into season 3 in the series, that's something to look forward to. Or not look forward to. Depends how you feel about that. But there was not really much I could do. That vote was going one way and one way only. Our engine goes back to the top of the grid, which is beautiful to see. That means we now got the best rear wing, front wing, and engine. So that is beautiful because rear wing's important and top speed. We just needed the suspension to be a bit better. I'm going to chuck that on. His Ricardo got the better suspension just because I want one car to be really good. And we can actually go for a race win if we get the parts that we need, you know what I mean? There's no point splitting the good parts with Leclerc because that means that we're both going to have two decent finishes. I mean, it's still two decent finishes, but Leclerc is overperforming a little bit already this season, so hopefully we can have a good go at this race. And we sort of missed the boat there. We could have got an extra day, but that's fine. Compete in Formula 4 is Formula 4. So the gearbox will actually be done in 9 hours. So for the Red Bull Ring, we will have a new gearbox, which is pretty exciting. I'm going to work on the suspension, but it's pretty much mute point, but we'll do it anyway. Oh, you know what? We won't because we're going to build a new suspension soon anyway, surely. So we'll work on the brakes just because, you know what? But then we're going to work on the brakes as well. I don't know. Just improve the front wing. Who knows? Just go continue here. And, oh, design and gearbox finished. Now, will we be able to get this gearbox turned around quick enough? No, it's not. Not a way in heck getting this gearbox on the car. Especially not at 20 reliability. But we're going to look to design a new part here. I feel like we should probably address some suspension. So let's just chuck on that. Build that 12 days after the race. It's a bit of a long build, the suspension, but we have to do it. We have to address it eventually. Travel to Paul Ricard. So that was quite an action-packed 2 weeks between the races there. But obviously with our new format, I'll see you for Q3. By the way, I haven't uploaded the videos yet, so I haven't quite got your feedback on it yet. Obviously, I've uploaded 3 videos in 24 hours now. So, because of course the Azerbaijan Grand Prix was so short. It was 13 minutes long, which is a bit ridiculous. So I decided to add in another one, the Canadian Grand Prix, which is quite a long one. 12 hours after that, and this one's coming out 12 hours after the Canadian one. But let me know what you think about the straight to Q3 in the comments, and I'll see you for Q3. Okay, so Q2 and 1 out the way. On to Q3. Obviously, very routine. I mean, it looks a bit closer than it is because I closed in 8th, but I literally did one run for each, like usual, especially here in the deserts of France. There's no rain. Obviously, if you don't get the reference, it's because in the game they use a desert track in France, which I know Paul Ricard is not in a desert, okay, if anyone points that out, but no rain because it's a desert, so we're going to go out on fresh pairs of tyres. We might be able to get 3 runs in. It's a bit of a longer lap, but I think 118 is still pretty short lap time as far as lap times go, so hopefully we can get 3 runs in, all on different compounds. We've got so many compounds obviously because you can take 18. That would be something that would be a bit more interesting, is if they reduced the amount of tyre compounds you could bring. Say it was 12. I mean, even then, I'll just bring probably 8 softs, 8 super softs, no, probably 9 super softs and 3 just softs, and just don't bring medium, because I just don't bring medium. I don't use the mediums at all, so we probably wouldn't even need to bring them. So that probably wouldn't add much of a challenge to it, to be honest. I feel like the AI only use the mediums because they're there. They just want to use them, which I don't really get that logic. But anyway, Leclerc's in third here, just 0.05 seconds off Verstappen in pole, which is good to see. Ricciardo's improving on his lap, which he needs to. He's well off the pace. He goes closer, but not quite where we want him because he's got the car that we wanted to challenge with. Leclerc's not in the challenging car for the race win anywho, but we're going to go forward a little bit here. Go to about, I mean, track grip's at the highest anyway. We're going to send him out with plenty of time. Send out Charles first, just because why not? And now send out Danny Rick. There we go. Come on, Daniel. We need you to be pushing pole, really. Because look, if Leclerc's that far off pole, you've got the better car. You should be getting much closer to pole than that. At least a quarter second away. Here you go. Leclerc, Hamilton improves a little bit. Oh no, Hamilton goes pole. Oh, and Ricciardo won't even improve. Oh, he does improve just. Held up by traffic. I didn't see any traffic. Bit of an underwhelming Q3, but third and fourth, so you lock out the second row, split the Mercedes and the Red Bulls. It's not bad. Means if we get a good start, we could win this race. We have seen us have a good start, go front, and then just open a gap, up a gap, and just win the race from there. So I'm hoping there's a similar story to tell here, but there's a lot of work to do between lap 1 and lap 53 for that to happen. So looks like there's going to be no rain today. We could have guessed that. Setups, it's all going to be down a raw pace today, which I'm hoping we have, but there's a good chance that we don't have. But let's not be too negative. But here we go. Good start. We need. Right on board Leclerc. Come on. Hamilton, Verstappen ahead. Brilliant start from the lads. Leclerc gets straight in front of Verstappen here. Hamilton chasing Hamilton down the road. He got a decent start himself. Ricciardo got past Verstappen as well. Verstappen's had a stinker. He's got his teammate Albon right behind him. Hopefully Ricciardo can get away, but Leclerc is right over the gearbox to Hamilton, who's looking like he could get overtaken here, Hamilton. I think Leclerc's looking pretty good. We don't want our drivers to start fighting. We need Leclerc to get all over the back of Hamilton and make a cheeky pass around the outside that we've seen him do so many times this season. And there it is. I told you around the outside. Leclerc loves it around the outside. Around the outside. So hopefully Leclerc can pull away now and get a decent gap. We're just going to wash on board Ricciardo because he's in the actual action. Hopefully Hamilton and Verstappen fight enough to sort of slow each other down, but it doesn't look like they are. But Ricciardo's in a decent spot. How is everyone's strategy going? We're still burning a lot of fuel, but we can recover fuel so easily, so it's fine. We got the engine reliability. We're going to have to tell them to cool it on their temps though. I think everyone will be in the same boat right about now. No, not yet, but they will be. Tyres around here in the desert obviously will heat up very quickly due to the sun, but Verstappen is in the faster car in this save over the Mercedes, so we kind of want him to be in fourth, not third, but that's fine. We'll deal with whoever's there, I guess. Leclerc's not really pulling away quick enough, but that's fine. He's not in the car to pull away. Ricciardo is, and he's under pressure. Verstappen gets past, which is great. Jump on board Leclerc again, and Hamilton gets past Ricciardo. Ricciardo not having a good weekend, which is not good. We sort of puts all of our good parts into his car. I was trying to think of a saying. What's the saying? I can't think of a saying, but anyway. Leclerc has actually got quite a gap now. 3 seconds to Verstappen, which is beautiful. We need that. Ricciardo's still in fourth. Bit of a gap to Albon. Fighting with Hamilton. And we're going to have to tell them to cool that on the fuel. Both of them. The fuel's getting a bit out of hand now. I mean, it's only a lap down. 43 to go. We recover lots of fuel at the end of the race. So hopefully Leclerc can see this through. But I doubt he will be able to. It's only about a 2-second gap. And I've got to get the tyre temps back up. 2.5 seconds isn't that long in Formula 1. All we need is a pit mistake and he's already back in second. So hopefully I didn't just jinx us. But look how quick we've recovered fuel. We're already all the way down to 0.4 instead of 0.8, whatever it was on before. And that gap's actually getting bigger and bigger between Leclerc and Verstappen, and Ricciardo's staying with Hamilton as well, and Hamilton's staying with Verstappen. So we're still within this hunt for a top two. Just whether it would be better if Ricciardo was in front than Leclerc, but hopefully Leclerc can do a job. He has actually been in decent form lately, so hopefully he can do it. He's actually the last race he won was in, where was it, Monaco? No, it was Spain. I don't know, it was one of them, but I think Leclerc won it. Yeah, because I remember playing the Monegascan anthem. So he's our last race winner, and he's looking pretty good right now. But Ricciardo staying with Hamilton, which is exactly what we want. We want him to just keep pressure on them. We want two drivers in the fight. We didn't have that at the start of this season. We had Ricciardo at the top, and Leclerc sort of not having the resources to fight. He's already coming up to a lapped car. It shows the pace, and Hamilton does look like he's closing that gap. So we're going to chuck it in overtake on both cars. Got fuel to burn. Hopefully that blue flag slows Verstappen down a little bit, but I don't think it will. And tyre deg's getting bad again. How long till we pit? We can probably just go into the softs. Yeah, we go into the softs, make it easy. We're not going to go into the super softs. We could, but I think it's safe just go into softs. You know what? In fact, we're going to jump into the softs now because there's no point going on this ruined tyre. You know what I mean? You may as well try the undercut, deselect that, chuck 25 in there, and safe pit strategy. No mistakes, lads. Come on. Here we go. Leclerc, beautiful pit stop. He's going to come out, push. We've got to try and make up for lost time. We sort of put him back into traffic, which isn't great, but that's fine. And now he gets past Bottas very quickly, and the tyre deg is already through the roof, which is to be expected, I suppose. We're going to tell Ricciardo to box now into the softs, repair every part because we can, it's free repairing, and pit strategy safe, pit. Tell him to attack, but we've got to watch that because that goes up very quickly. Jump on board with Leclerc. Ricciardo gets a decent getaway. And where's Leclerc? Hamilton's in front, Verstappen's right behind, but Hamilton's still got a pit. The undercut works a treat. We have a, not really a treat, but it's alright. Anyway, why did I pause the game? Because tyres overheating, that's right. And I can only imagine what Verstappen's going to have to do on those mediums. Because I'm struggling to keep these tyres in temp, and if he's on mediums, those tyres must be really struggling to stay in temperature. Those mediums look like the worst tyre to be on right now. But that's fine. We're not on them, so that's all good. That's actually good. Leclerc should be extending his gap. Bottas looks like he has to pit. His tyres look just about dead. Alonso's nowhere to be seen this race, which is a bit of a surprise this season. Usually he's always sticking his nose where it don't belong. But Leclerc's still out in front, 3 seconds. It was 1 second after the pit stop, so really we lost time to him. Well, not really, because he was closing the gap. So it was sort of a meh sort of strategy. We tried the undercut. It sort of worked. We came out in first, so it was fine. But we didn't really gain as much time as we would have hoped. Mostly because I think Leclerc came out to traffic. But, you know, we tried it. Didn't really work. Didn't really lose time. It's sort of a bit of nothing. We're battling with Lewis Hamilton now. Hopefully we can get Ricciardo onto the podium. I don't think there's no more pit stops to be had, so I don't think we'll be able to get on pits. So it's going to be all on track from here on out. So I need to watch fuel now as we come towards the end of this race. You don't want to be too negative on the fuel delta now. 18 laps to go. Leclerc is just miles out in front, but Leclerc, what's his name? Verstappen is closing that gap quite, but then he's battling with Hamilton. So that constant battle between Verstappen and Hamilton cannot be helping either of their races, so that is good for us as Leclerc is still out in front, but that gap to Verstappen is getting smaller and smaller, and now it's under a second. You're mad. You're having a laugh, aren't you? You've got to be having a laugh. Come on, Leclerc, pull away. Oh, and Hamilton's just overtaking Verstappen, so this is bizarre. Leclerc's losing a lot of time here. Telling him to use a lot of fuel, but we don't really have a lot. We do have a lot of fuel, but with 13 laps to go, you don't want to go too negative, like I said earlier. Verstappen retakes second. Ricciardo's not really in that fight. It's going to be a bloody good effort from Charles Leclerc to win this race now, as both the drivers look to hound in on us as we look a bit slow for some reason, and it's 4/10 in it. I am petrified right now, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely petrified. This is not great. We are under an immense amount of pressure. Alright, it's alright. 11 laps, it's too long to be honest. Oh, it's just any corner, he's just going to send it. They like sending it in this game. But we're going to keep it on high. Hopefully we can pull away. We need to save some fuel though, so we're going to tell him to calm down. on the odd fuel. We got about half a lap of fuel over target, and Verstappen. Oh, come on, Leclerc, pull away the curves. He's doing a decent job. Ricardo's not been at the races today, which is a bit upsetting, but that's fine. He should be getting in on the second place battle, but it looks like Charles will pull away a bit, but his tyres are getting overheated. Yes, I know, I'm all over it, don't worry about it. 8 laps to go, come on, pull away, son. Tyres overheated, sorry, wasn't paying attention. But it looks like Ricardo's finally going to join the fight. Good to see, we need him messing with them a little bit. He's got the fuel now to just push. We've almost got Leclerc back in target. That'll help out his race a lot. It means you can just go and push engine mode. And that will help out a lot because it doesn't really affect the delta. So it just keeps it the same. So come on, mate. And neutral driving style with 5 laps to go. It's squeaky bum time right here. It's Fergie time in footballing terms. Come on, boys. Hopefully Ricciardo can snag a podium. That's best case scenario. Leclerc wins, Ricciardo gets a podium. But right now I'm focusing on that bloody race win. It's scary. This will help close the gap to Red Bull and Merc, as that top 3 title battle is getting really heated. And I kind of want to jump on board Daniel Ricciardo here. Is it starting to rain? It looked like it was raining on the start-finish straight there. Maybe I'm seeing things, but we're going to tell Leclerc to chill out a bit as his tyres look to overheat. It looks like it's raining, but it's not. I'm seeing things. I'm too scared to watch Ricciardo. We're trying like look back. And Ricciardo takes Hamilton. You know what, just push, mate. It's final lap, isn't it? It's final lap, yeah? Yeah, we're going to tell him to go there. Him to push. I'm going to just watch Leclerc. Make sure Leclerc wins this race, but hopefully Ricciardo can snag a podium. We don't want Leclerc to be pushed too hard or else he'll make a mistake. But it looks like, despite the odds, Leclerc might win this race. I'm watching Ricciardo take Hamilton for 3rd, but that could go anywhere. Where's Charles? Where's the finish line? Yep, he's going to win this race. Charles Leclerc, chuck the engine in low. Beautifully done. Charles Leclerc, the Monegascan, and Ricciardo gets the podium. Come on, boys. I knew it was going to be a good weekend. I didn't expect Leclerc to win, but fair play to him. He drove his heart out today. Again, it always looks a bit dodgy towards the end of the race, but Leclerc pulled through today, and we win in the deserts of France. Beautifully done. Exactly what we needed, and the podium puts us 1 point behind Red Bull and 1 point behind Mercedes. We're right back into the fight here as Albon and Bottas had a bit of a shocker. I mean, 5th and 7th isn't really bad, but in terms of the points, when your rival gets 1st and 3rd, it hurts a little bit. So Leclerc wins his 2nd race of the season, the same amount as Ricciardo. He is making a statement that he wants equal parts, which is fair enough. But I know as soon as I give him equal parts, he won't perform as well. So I don't know. We'll just keep doing what we're doing right now. It's working. I don't want to mess with the dynamic too much. Leclerc's being an absolute G in that 2nd car, taking on the chin. Ricciardo needs to up his game a little bit, but beautifully done by Charles there. 1 point behind Mercedes and Red Bull. That is so good to say. We're right in this fight. I thought the last couple of races was looking a bit dodgy, but pulled it back with a great result today. 1st and 3rd, double podium. Unfortunately, Verstappen split us, but that is not. I'm not arguing at all with that. A 40-point hole, beautifully done. Who got the fastest lap, by the way? I'm assuming it was, yeah, it's Verstappen. So that probably takes them top. No, that was factoring in their fastest lap. So if they didn't get the fastest lap, we're above them, which is pretty amazing to think about here. And we're going to go, is it going to be got out of hand? No, it wasn't. Yes, you're some genius. No, I feel great. It's all down to that. Yeah, fair play to him. That is down to the driver. He kept back Verstappen that whole last 10, 15 laps. That's all him. I just sort of told him to manage his tyres so we didn't have a fire while we were driving. But if you have a look at the standings here, we've actually got the most wins out of the team. But compared to Hamilton and Verstappen, they've got 3 apiece. We've got 2 apiece. It just shows that we have a second driver who actually who's actually contributing to our point tally, which is fantastic. Exactly what we want. Team effort, Motorsport. Team effort. So next time out, we got the Red Bull ring. Hopefully we can do decent. What's that? Brakes, low speed, and suspension. Not quite playing into our hands like this race did. But we've got the new suspension coming in. Hopefully we can turn that around and get that on the car. But yeah, I'll see you for that one. If you've enjoyed this video, leave a like for Leclerc's win. And leave a like for being, back in the championship contention. And subscribe if you're not already. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.